Welcome back everybody to the second game of this best of 3 series for the SLTV Pro Series lower bracket for the playoffs. It is AlbumSheet versus Balkan Bears Corleone. As I already mentioned, game number 2, which means Balkan Bears, they do have this one game advantage. So we'll see if it's going to be 2-0 or AlbumSheet are actually going to fight back here as well. But we are HeflaTV, your English coverage for this. I'm Coacher, once again joined by Mr. Blackadder. Do you think we're going to have an actual series at our hands?
I reckon there is a good chance of a full best of three. I would very much enjoy that. I would. Album Sheet, they do have that potential to take a game off BBC, especially if they can just get a good initiation. If they go with the Mully heavy build again as well, ban the Faceless Void, but it can certainly go. And I think we went through that entire first draft with Tidehunter being in the pool but not banned, if I recall correctly.
I think you are correct in saying so. So we'll see if Tidehunter will just be on the minds of the drafters for whether if it be AlbumSheet or Balkan Bears. Maybe gonna get ignored completely once again. I'm just gonna double check to be on the safe side, just to make sure we are not talking complete bullshit. But yep,
As
it was correct. No Tidehunter ban, no pick.
That honestly surprises me greatly. Tide, even with the slight tweaks he's had, he is still a very powerful hero, especially when you count that many melee heroes. You consider not only Ravage, but Anchor Smash more importantly. I want to say minus 60 now after patch 6.81. I'm sure chat will correct me if I'm wrong, but minus 60% physical damage through Anchor Smash. Pretty major considering. And we're going to start off this one with Tusk, Album Sheet. Aggression from the outset, but what role will this Tusk be in, I wonder?
Well, most of the time I've seen Screen Squad or Moscow 5 International these days played. It has been support task every single game. I think I've seen a couple of non-support tasks as well, but they have been extremely experimental and don't think they've really worked out in most cases either. But we'll see if Balkan Bears now. Will Tidehunter be in the stars for them, or maybe once again go just start with the centaur, for example?
Oh, if they start with the Centaur, we could be looking at another Padrino safe lane Centaur. I completely agree with that. But if this is Tusk's support role, I'm expecting it to be a full role support, of course, since Tusk's going to need some items down the way somewhere.
It definitely wouldn't hurt him. A lot of the times, at least when Screen himself is playing it, it's like Face Boots, Urn of Shadows, I believe, something like that, then maybe Blink Dagger after. Just items like that. But Balkan Bear starting with a Timber Saw now. So I guess the second phase Timber Saw ban in the last game makes a little bit more sense now. I guess Balkan Bears are a little bit more prone to pick up that hero than others. But this early of a Timber Saw, was it really necessary? Or I guess with it being banned in the second phase in the first game, if Balkan Bears had not picked it up, highly likely it would have gotten banned again. But is it that strong of a hero to pick as the first one?
I think it is. And in this case, this could work in both the off lane or the mid lane. Timbersaw mid isn't actually a bad one, considering he can punish with the Welling Death whenever he can. He can also just shoot out to the trees with the Timber Chain. He's tanky enough with the reactive armor, and it gets him a very fast level 6, which gives him the Chakram advantage. And Chakram is an incredibly powerful ultimate. We've all seen what it can do, especially if you can get the Aghanims. But in this case, Timbersaw and a Slark. So is this going to be a mid or safe lane Slack? Again, it raises questions. It raises more questions than gives us answers. And where is their support going to come from? What combination? As on the flip side of the coin for Album Sheet, they pick up a Centaur and a Tusk. This combination of heroes is, what's the word I'm looking for? Ludicrous. Snowball into Hoof Stomp, into Double Edge, and then Ice Shards on top if they really need to lock down a target. That is just a stupid level of initiation, and that's before you count Blink Daggers.
So at the moment, we're looking at 4 melee heroes. Of course, it might not be as bad for AlbumSheet in the first game, running 4 melee heroes, for example, but if AlbumSheet go for any more melee, especially if they should be strength heroes while at it, Timbersaw is just gonna have a field day. I mean, Timbersaw is excellent against any kind of melee heroes, but even more so against strength, just because Whirling Death, it reduces your primary stat, and if it's strength, you're going to lose your health pool as well with that. So, for AlbumSheet, I hope no more strength melees for them, or if they can, no more melees in general. Maybe go for something like a Puck, definitely nice to have the Waning Rift as well as the Dream Coil against the Timbersaw. Waning Rift's decent against Slark as well if you can get it before the Dark Pact. So I wouldn't mind something like a puck for Album Sheet this game.
I would be inclined to agree. Any form of heavy silence against a Timbersaw would work out quite nicely. But the Balkan Bears are at it again. They'll help themselves to a Dazzle, as well as the Slark and the Timbersaw. And when you see a Timbersaw, you don't generally think go with negative armor, but it can certainly work in this case, considering the Dazzle will probably be working with the Slark. They'll be looking to cause as much havoc on lanes as they can. But now I have to raise the question of Album Sheet if they pick up the puck. Puck is susceptible to a Slark if Slark can get on top of him. That's the problem here. And aggression out of the Balkan Bears is the standard and the norm, so I'm wondering if they're not going to need a different hero with a silence. Then again, Nortrum does come to mind. Silencer himself, be he a 4-role silencer or a core silencer, could work out quite nicely. Other than that, they do need one other support, so a Disruptor wouldn't go amiss either. That would also give them access to Glimpse, so Timbersaw can't run away oh so easily.
Yeah, actually didn't even think. Oh, never mind. Disruptor is banned. Balkan Bears banned it out, so they were thinking about it already. It definitely would have been an excellent hero choice, I think. But with that out, I guess you mentioned Silencer. It could be worthwhile. Global Silence definitely would just completely stop Balkan Bears. But then again, Global Silence, if you rely on that to win fights, you might find yourself at a situation that yes, you may win one fight, but Balkan Bears are just going to respawn and come before Global Silence comes off cooldown. Of course, it's heavily situational. It depends on like how much farm you have, how much farm the enemy has, and so on and so forth. But Silencer, it could do or could have its intended purpose in this game. So we'll see if they want to pick it up. Support Silencer, I wouldn't mind that much even. I still think Puck would be fine, especially in the sense that Balkan Bears, they just lack any kind of lockdown.
So far they do, yes. This is another game where Tidehunter hasn't been picked or banned, by the way. I'm beginning to think that these games aren't happening and I'm actually dreaming, because Tidehunter not being picked just doesn't seem right to me, and we'll get ourselves a Morphling for Album Sheet. I'm wondering if we're going to see shades of yesterday with the level of aggression out of the Morphling. And there's your puck, but it's going to be in Balkan Bear's hands, not the Album Sheet hands, which just adds more problems for Album Sheet, considering you say they didn't have lockdown. Now they've got Dream Coil.
It's just, how the hell can Album Sheet kill the puck? At least they have Adaptive Strike, Snowball, as well as the Hoofstomp for stuns, but Dazzle will be backing up the puck. So unless they go for an axe, this puck is just going to be a thorn in the side of Album Sheet throughout the entire game, I think.
Man, he's not going to be just a thorn. He's going to be a steel girder embedded in their gut. The puck will do so much with a Dazzle backing him up. There is no way to kill a puck that has a Dazzle backing him up. And we get Alina. Wow.
Wow is correct, man. I did see Alina yesterday. I think I saw Alina yesterday. Yes, I did. It was Alina, Ipach, and the Bloodseeker all in one game. The team actually won as well. But we'll see how well this one will perform. And is this a support Lina, or can it actually be something like a mid lane Lina?
I think this is a support Lina. I don't think a mid Lina would work in this case. He's just so squishy. I mean, you've got a Slark. That's when a Slark looks at Lina, he sees food. I expect it to be a support combo with the Tusk, because the Ice Shards do set up quite nicely for the Light Strike array.
That's true enough. It's like, if you're caught in the Ice Shards, you're like, well, two choices. You try to run out and get caught by the Light Strike array, or you go deeper into the Ice Shards and you're caught anyway. You might not get stunned and not take the extra damage from it, but you can't run away anyway. So definitely not a bad combination there, but BBC going for an Abaddon. So they hate their heroes dying, I guess.
Yeah, the Abaddon's going to make it very hard for the Album Sheet lineup to kill anyone. Between Shallow Grave, between Borrowed Time, and the level of healing these two heroes can put out, it's going to cause problems. But at least we can predict Balkan Bears' lanes in this case. It's going to be a tri-lane Slark defensive, a mid-lane puck, and a Timbersaw off-lane. And for the final hero picked up by Album Sheet, it's going to be a Queen of Pain. So looking for that high pure damage. And I could get behind a Queen of Pain pick, but Queen of Pain needs to take off with some good early levels and get a Orchid in this case.
Orchid will be key, I think, in both dealing with the puck as well as the Timbersaw. And you didn't mention the pure damage. If Lina somehow can, for example, farm up an Aghanim Scepter as well, doesn't matter if you're gonna have Shadow Waves or Aphotic Shields or anything. One hero is just 100% gonna get blown up. There is just no doubting it. But at the moment for BBC, I think they're gonna run some form of dual lanes again. Just run Timbersaw plus Dazzle or Timbersaw plus Abaddon offlane. Make sure that the Timbersaw actually doesn't die, gets the levels. Because Timbersaw, as much as you would like farm, you really need just to get the level 6, and from there on, supports have to run away from you most times.
Yeah, I'll agree. But one thing I'll say about both these lineups, they are both unorthodox. And I say this quite frequently. Unorthodox is the line between genius and insanity. I like unorthodox drafts. They make you think they are what caused the meta to change. So we could see some interesting play here, and honestly, I'm hoping for it. But I suppose we should get the formalities out of the way.
Yes, so for AlbumSheet on the dire side, Afterlife will be playing the Center Warrunner, Wek on the Tusk with Kingar on the Lina, leaving Axe Mode to head towards the mid lane on the Queen of Pain, with Hurricane on the Morphling, and we have next level Troll, the Couriers, what?
I don't know, it's Hefla, we'll just ignore him.
I was hoping for some like super badass Couriers, but...
I don't know, it's Hefla, I tend not to ask questions.
Well, and for BBC?
Indeed, for the BBC lineup, we have on the slot, we've got Pedrina, going to be playing the Aggression himself this time. We've got Illusionist on the Abaddon, and could this be a dual offlane in this case? It seems like it. In the mid lane, we've got Yapsor, who's going to be playing the Puck up against the Queen of Pain, so we're going to see the traditional mid matchup. We've got Massacre on that Timbersaw, green Timbers this time it seems. And finally, lurking somewhere on the map, we have the fifth hero. Yes, we've got Levy reprising his role as the Dazzle from game number 1.
By the way, what the Timbersaw set being green, is it supposed to be like a camouflage or something? And if, then isn't it bad that he destroys the trees? I mean,
too deep for me. Don't ask me. Too deep for me.
It's like, it would make sense that you would want to like camouflage yourself in the trees, but then you go and destroy them. It's like, or maybe he's just like that big of a bowler. He just sets up an ambush and suddenly it's like, just jumps out with like double Tommy guns or something. It's like, I'm here, fuckers. Epic bowler Timbersaw, man.
How did we devolve to this? I'm done. I'm out. No.
It's just me being an Estonian degenerate, man. But look at top lane Hurricane. His solo has the waveform, of course, and well, between the Abaddon and the Dazzle, not much lockdown there. Shadow Wave does still do some nice damage, but there is little chance for them to actually kill the Morphling when he has the waveform.
Yeah, there's going to be little chance at all to bring down Hurricane, but there's going to be hardly any space for Hurricane to do anything either, considering he can't really harass Illusionist and Levy because they're just going to heal. It is the glory of these two as a support pairing.
There's a tiny chance that you may hope for just getting them out of mana, but I would really hope the Slark will go for a Ring of Passive. In a tri-lane, it's just such a great item to have. Extra armor for yourself, for the team, and just the mana regeneration is kind of necessary in most cases for tri-lanes.
Indeed it is. It's going to be needed, but it seems we do have that aggressive ward placed by the Balkan Bear lineup, so they can see Wek and King are rotating in, so this isn't going to be a surprise at all. In fact, are they going to try to get a pick off here? They could kill King R. Then again, Pedrina being very aggressive and ballsy and right-clicking away at the Hurricane himself. Still going to be a very tense little start here as well. The Light Strike Array will miss. And Pedrina, can he get the pounce? The Lina isn't exactly the fastest hero in the game, starting down at 295. So if Pad can catch anyone, it'll probably be the Lina. And Pad already has his boots, so there is a chance for an aggressive kill here.
The thing is, though, that if you go for the pounce, they might just snowball and delay things out. Although then again, if you snowball and wait for more units of Falcon Bears to get next to you, so once the snowball ends, there's going to be a Shadow Wave waiting, for example. I guess it can be kind of a double-edged sword, but it's just initiating up against a snowball is so hard.
Yeah, it is, considering the snowball, you can use it to evade so many spells. It's going to be quite nice. And I've just taken my eyes off that top lane for a second to keep an eye on Afterlife since he did drop a bit. He's not exactly having a very favourable lane up against that Timbersaw now, is he? They're both getting some decent CS, but when it comes to health-wise, they are punishing quite heavily the Centaur.
It's just so nice to be a Timbersaw in that case, although at the moment he's level 3, so we'll see which spell he decides to max out. Sometimes if you're up against melee heroes like this, especially strength melees. Oh, the stun comes out, Afterlife has a double damage as well. Not going for the double edge yet, but he's gonna get the first blood. Not even gonna lose his life because he got rid of the tower aggro in time. Man, it was so close. Had the Timber Chain not gotten cancelled by the Hoof Stomp, I think it would have gone the other way.
Yeah, it's just a nice thing about this kind of matchup. It can go either way. I was honestly expecting it to go the other way, actually, considering how heavily the Centaur was getting punished. But I suppose Centaur with DD you have to respect completely with the double edge. But we are seeing rotations up towards this top lane, and, well, we don't see rotations. The support have rotated back onto the lane itself, so are we just going to look at this standoff the entire time, or are we going to see a fight over something? Maybe a fight over this pull camp. That could be ideal. And Hurricane's going to look to move in and try to get what he can. The Shallow Wave comes in, the Shadow Wave even, trying to look for any CS they can. And they're fighting even over pull camps and just extra CS. That's how tense this top lane really is.
Mid lane as well at the moment, Yapsor and Queen of Pain exchanged quite a lot of damage. Yapsor had to use the phase shift earlier, so couldn't dodge the Shadow Strike. So took quite a lot of damage. Queen of Pain though managed to bottle up a Bounty Rune. So he's gonna be fine with the bottle charge. Patrina goes aggressive onto Hurricane. Now King are gonna get slowed down, but the Ice Shards come in. The pounce will not connect. And there's the Snowball buying some extra time. Can they go for a counter kill? Maybe Patrina. He's pretty low. Shallow Grave keeps him alive. Kingar, he's the first one to fall. And they cannot keep on following up. Queen of Pain in the meantime, with the help of Afterlife, they get the kill on Puck. So Afterlife got the kill on Timber, although after the kill had to back all the way home. Now came in for the kill, so that's nice, but Timbersaw just enjoying the free farm time in the bottom lane in the meantime.
Yeah, and Padrino is continuing the aggression up on that top lane. I saw what happened in the mid lane. We did have the invisibility rune picked up by the Center of Afterlife. Thing is, that rune was pinged out by the Dazzle, so they knew that Afterlife had an invis, and they still lost the puck in that mid lane, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, the puck was just so low from the earlier exchange against Queen of Pain. He had like, I think, 140 HP or something like that. And he was just bottle crowing at the same time, which was a little bit unfortunate. So, nice timing for the Invis rune to come out, of course. Definitely they could have played it a little bit more safe. I mean, they even had vision on Afterlife picking up the rune, like I said. So, don't know, misplace kind of. But it's not the end of the world.
No, by no stretch of the imagination is it the end of the game or the world, but still, it's something that when they see the invis being picked up, you'd think they'd be able to respond to it in some way, shape or form, but not in this one, it seems. Still, we're seeing quite the tense early game compared to what we've seen previously. Before, we've seen just kill-heavy brawls. In this one, it's more a scramble for resources. They're getting whatever CS they can, as I say, fighting over the pool camps, hell, waveforming the creeps to ensure they get the CS. It's a change of pace from game number one, I think, is the best way to look at it. But that pace may change again, considering Massacre now has access to his Chakram. Hell, he's about to be level 7, so we're looking for any manner of aggression out of him.
The thing is, it's extremely hard to actually get the kill on Centaur, as long as he has the Stampede. If you can bait out the Stampede and know it's on cooldown, then you can go for the kill, although he's trying to do some damage anyway, or force out the Stampede at the very least. Although at the moment Centaur rather low in health and cannot come back for a really long time, just because Tranquil Woods take quite some time to come back online after you take damage or attack yourself. So Massacre, especially with the Arcane Boots now, he is just completely taking over the lane dominance.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem for AlbumSheet if they can't get that Timbersaw under control. Because Timbersaw is one of those heroes that can just snowball so heavily. I mean, a Bloodstone will tend to help in that, but the magical and pure damage coming out of a Timbersaw cannot be underestimated.
Oh, it most certainly cannot. Even a Morphling who usually has Strength Morph, but morphing into Strength takes time, and Timbersaw just does not give you that necessary time. So Timbersaw definitely a nice hero to have up against Morphling as well. The one thing is that Morphling might be able to just... Oh, as we speak of the Timbersaw, he's gonna go down. Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, even the Sonic Wave used for that. So really nice and important kill from AlbumSheet as well.
Yeah, AlbumSheet getting the important kills throughout this early game completely, it seems. They're also getting the farm for that Morphling as well, which is the important thing. 28 for 5 in that Morphling versus 26 and 5 for the Slark. So slight edge for Hurricane. And really, we've not really seen any excessive way of punishing Hurricane, have we?
No, we really haven't. It's just the nature of the supports for BBC. which really didn't allow them to do so. I maybe would have just preferred straight off dual lane still from Balkan Bears. It would have meant Timbersaw probably would not have given away the first blood. Completely dominated the center. Center wouldn't have gotten anything had the Dazzle been there, for example. But now Axmo in some trouble, takes a lot of damage, but he's gonna get the counter kill. Oh god, missed coil, a tad too late. With the help of the tower, they get the kill on Queen of Pain in the end anyway. I guess Illusionist gets closer to his level 6 with that, but Timbersaw just overestimating his own damage output or his survivability.
Yeah, that's one of the things you have to be very wary of as a Timber. The reactive armor is deceptive. Then again, speaking of deceptive, how much damage a Shadow Wave can do as Hurricane gets hit by one hell of a bomb, loses half his health in a single spell. I mean, we could be looking at a bit of counter-initiation here, considering in comes King R. Levy could be in a bad way, does get caught by the Light Strike away, waveform forward, doesn't actually deal damage, gets caught by Ice Shards. He's going to be more than well enough fine with that Shallow Grave, but Weck is still caught, gets caught by the pounds. There's no way to escape that. Then again, in comes Axmo. He's going to be able to kill one. Can he get two? Yes, he damn well can. Double kill for the Queen of Pain. Could be a triple. Yapsa in a very bad way. Scream as well. One more right click. No, he gets healed by the miscoil. And now we get a turnaround from Yapsa. He's continuing the aggression. Massacre's in, looking for King R. The Waning Rift will bring him down, but who's still standing? You got Illusionist trying to go toe-to-toe with Axmo, and Massacre will come in with that Aphotic Shield to clean up. Afterlife going to be the sole one still standing. In comes Wetch getting the final kill on that puck finally. And hell, this fight just doesn't end short, does it? Massacre gets the double, and well, there's what the Timber can do in a fight.
Man, for a second I was like, where the hell is the Timber? Why isn't he joining the fight immediately? But he came, he saw, he conquered. My freaking god. Without the Timber joining that fight, BBC would have just straight out, hands down, lost it. Queen of Pain, thank god that she died for BBC, because she's number 1 in net worth by about more than 1k, differentiating him from the next highest. So Queen of Pain definitely still looking good. Looks to be going for the Orchid as well, as was to be expected. Mid lane though, Hurricane gonna get silenced up at Massacre, a little bit too low on mana to properly follow up. But Axmo, is he gonna jump in for Levy? Levy drops low, Shallow Grave preemptive, never mind, just turns around, level 2 Poison Touch. Illusionist is there as well, 2 supports, can they really do it?
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill there, but still. Just trying to keep an eye on the album sheet lineup here. Where are they going to rotate? I mean, 2 supports on that bottom lane. That seems like the easier target. Are they going to rotate for those supports? I mean, that would be the ideal kill, wouldn't it?
I would think so, at least, but we'll see if anybody kind of maybe takes the bait. But Massacre has an Invis Rune, still rather low on mana, but just 1 Waning Rift into Chakram, Whirling Death is all they really need. The Silence is their Dream Coin to follow, Illusion Orb connects as well, they need the Chakram now. It doesn't connect properly, and there's the waveform, and Massacre, once again, too low on mana to really do anything. Had the Chakram connected, might have still been enough, but Massacre was just too far away now. Levy, he gets jumped by Axmo, but Axmo, seeing Illusionist, blinks away. It's rather fun to look just 2 supports and Queen of Pain just kind of poking each other.
Poking and prodding is what you expect with that kind of matchup, though. I mean, who's going to really get the advantage of this one? Levy could actually go down here, but no, he gets the heal of the Miscoil and the Shadow Wave with a Shallow Grave. That's quite the expenditure of an ultimate for nothing in the end. That was beautiful to watch.
I do believe the level 1 ultimate of Queen of Pain is 290 damage. Yes, it's pure, but it's not that devastating. I mean, Scream of Pain does 300 magic damage, so it does like... Oh god, math is failing me. 225 damage should be pure. And if you consider just the cooldown and the mana cost, just Scream of Pain, Zip Easier Afterlife gets pounced. So can they get the kill with Timbersaw coming through, and the Chakram Stampede is forced out. Afterlife, I think, is gonna be fast enough. Timber Chain catches Weg, and now Afterlife, he's gonna be so damn screwed. Chakram off cooldown. The Snowball will buy some time. Nope, never mind, not bringing in the Snowball for some reason. So Timbersaw just picks up the kill.
Indeed, but now in rotates Axmo. They could be looking for something off the back of this one. I mean, all it would take is a good blink to catch the Timber. I mean, there is enough damage from a Queen of Pain these days. It is quite nice how they've reworked her. The level of pure damage she can deal. Hell, pure damage, magic resist ain't going to stop that. It's quite nice, but the thing that really occurs to me here is I'm unsure. What item build is Axmo going to go for here? He's looks to be going for the Orchid, but Part of me wants to say an earlier BKB will do him more than an Orchid in this game, with the exception of catching the puck. I mean, a BKB would stop the damage from the Slark, it would remove all of the damage from the Timber. And Queen of Pain isn't exactly the tankiest hero, so the BKB could do a bit more than, say, an Orchid first item, mathematically speaking.
Well, to be honest, Timbersaw has some pure as well, from the Timber Chain, for example. Whirling Death, I do believe, turns into pure if there are trees cut at the same time. So, plus, Orchid, in a sense, stops Timbersaw's damage completely as well, if you just silence him up. Although, I can definitely see your point. I mean, at the moment, Queen of Pain, if you blink in, you have to face the consequences of just the possibility of you dying straight after you blink in and just dish out your own damage. But oh god, blink, silence from Yapsor, Dream Coil onto 2 as well. They get the 1-kill snowball, buy some time for the task, but they are waiting for the low. Hurricane comes in as well, Scream of Pain catching 2, beautiful stuff. Massacre will go down, so a 2 for 2, but it's 2 cores for only 2 supports.
And they could even get Illusionist here if they can catch him after his borrowed time runs out, and a couple more right clicks will seal the deal. Going to be a 3 for 2 in favor of AlbumSheet.
That's exactly what they need as well. Suddenly Queen of Pain even farther ahead in net worth. Morphling also being number 2 now. So a huge blunder by Balkan Bears. Idea was definitely nice. I mean, the support kills, it didn't take them all that long. It was just really the snowball purchasing those couple precious seconds for the Queen of Pain to come in for the right angle for the Scream of Pain.
Yeah, that's all it is. The snowball's so good for that kind of thing. But it seems the aggression is back. Mid lane, Yapsa does get silenced by the Waning Rift, but where is the follow-up? There's no Slark. At least he wasn't close enough to really get the pounce. And even if you pounce the Queen of Pain, as soon as the silence runs out, she's going to go down. They need more damage if they want to take down Axmo quickly. Or they need an Orchid. But who really carries an Orchid on the Balkan Bears lineup?
Well, I guess Tassel could build for one, although we don't really see him getting the necessary farm for that. I guess Puck Hex is probably the best choice later on. But bottom lane, Ice Shards onto Massacre. If they get the follow-up, never mind, just Timber Chain away. Illusionist is there with Levy as well. They have to use the Stampede to make sure Wreck escapes.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how low he dropped. With a missed coil as well, he is barely surviving. This is quite unpleasant here for AlbumSheet if they get obliterated like that. I mean, high alpha damage from a Abaddon as well as Massacre on that Timber. It really does add up.
So looking at the kill score, 10 to 10. Graphs though, 1k in the favor of AlbumSheet in net worth. XP more or less zeroed out. So game is pretty damn even. But if you look at the late game, I would probably give the advantage to AlbumSheet. So I think Balkan Bears, they're not just exactly on a clock or something, but they probably don't want to take this super late, I would think.
No, I don't think they can take it super late. Super late, it's going to be rough either way. Both of these teams are sort of early game lineups. I mean, Queen of Pain, she falls off to an extent in the late game. So does the Puck. I mean, the stun from Puck Stream Call is quite nice, especially if you get an Aghanims late game. But to me, both of these lineups scream early game push and control. That's what both of them are. And Tusk does fall off quite heavily as well, especially in the support roles. So.
Oh god, Yapsor gets silenced by the Orchid of Axmo, but there's an Aphotic Shield. Laguna Blade does absolutely nothing, and Kingar goes down in return. Yapsor kind of an overkill with the Dream Coil, but Illusionist at the right just position at the right time.
Yeah, it all comes down to that positioning, and Illusionist with that Aphotic Shield just does so much in keeping Apps alive. How much does that Aphotic Shield absorb at level 4? Let's take a quick look, shall we? 200 damage absorbed. That was the majority of the Laguna Blade. Even with an Orchid present as well, with the Orchid pop at the end, it's just nowhere near enough.
Yeah, the fact is that Aphotic Shield just removed the Orchid to begin with, so that's actually a huge downside here. I didn't really even think about it before, just because Abaddon isn't that common of a hero, but if the Abaddon is close by and if you can do it every single time, do you think it would even be worth it to just jump in, silence the Abaddon? But then again, you cannot really use the silence to try to kill the Abaddon, because I do believe your ultimate kicks in anyway. As in the meantime, Slark goes down to the Queen of Pain, so as long as they can keep Slark at bay, they're going to be just fine with the Morphling farming.
Yeah, they are, and they actually caught the Slark there with that Orchid, just being able to pop the Orchid and then just throw the Scream of Pain. It's just a huge combination. And Massacre now could be in a lot of trouble as well. He gets caught by the entire lineup near enough of AlbumSheet, taking a lot of damage, and he's still going to be able to Timber Chain and survive, all because of this power from Illusionist. And while this is going on, Queen of Pain in that mid lane manages to get a killing spree going, bringing down the Dazzle.
let's say if AlbumSheet win this game, it will be like 70% thanks to the Queen of Pain. He's been playing his heart out this game. Looking at his net worth as well, he's more than 3k above the highest on the Radiant side. That's just crazy. Has the Orchid another 1.6k gold. We'll see if he wants to go for the BKB now, or maybe just go for straight off Aghanims, get the lower cooldown to just keep on blowing people up like the Dazzle, for example. If Queen of Pain had an Aghanims, what the hell could the Dazzle do if the Abaddon isn't close by? Just absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he'll just die every damn time to the Scream of Pain. And I suppose I have to point out that I still would favour a BKB over an Aghanims, even if he is maintaining that kill advantage just for safety. I mean, you're up against a Timbersaw, you have to at least show the Timbersaw some respect. If you disrespect the Timbersaw, you will die very quickly.
And well, speaking of Timbersaw, Bloodstone is about to come out shortly. So, with the Bloodstone finish, if he can start gaining charges, all is gonna be fine. If AlbumSheet though find a way to just make Massacre lose the charges straight off, it's gonna be goddamn horrible for them.
Indeed it is, and we do get that TP to the mid lane from Massacre as the rest of the team all rotate up towards that top lane. So in comes the first fight. Padrino going to take a lot of damage, but manages to Dark Pact and get a good combination, as well as the Dream Coil dropping from Yapsus. The Silence will come out, Queen of Pain will fall. Now they're looking for Hurricane, but he's just going to dodge completely with his replica.
I love how the Poison Touch followed him, and the Poison Touch looks like a green poisony shuriken. So I hadn't really just got any good look at that follow-up. Oh, Massacre gets the Timber Chain away. Snowball doesn't really follow up either. Massacre rather low on mana, so I don't think he can get the kill on Beck. Maybe with the help of Illusions, never mind. They are gonna back off for now, but Bloodstone is finished. Didn't lose the charges, came close to it though. Centaur got the blink, almost the hoof stomp as well to stop the Timber Chain. But instead, Slark, he gets the tower, they get the kill on Queen of Pain, and just slowing down Queen of Pain is probably one of the more important things to do if you're BBC.
Yeah, they need to keep that Queen of Pain down, in all honesty. If the Queen of Pain can get that BKB on top of an Orchid, it's going to cause all manner of problems, because how do you kill her when she gets a BKB up? But on the flip side of the coin, for the Timbersaw, Massacre, you saw in that little attempt on his life why the Timbersaw is such a pain. Just so many ways to escape. Timber chaining over the top of the ice shards. How do you catch a Timber without a good silence? Speaking of silence, I hear an Orchid being thrown. They're going to try to bring down Yapsa. The stun, however, misses from Afterlife, and now, well, it seems we're going to get that brawl start all over again. Massacre trying to just pose and be threatening, but can't really manage to get any kill right now. He's sort of low on mana, and he's just going to farm up the stack. So he's continuing to accelerate his own gold with stacked creep camps.
And it looks like he's going for maybe a Yule Scepter now with that Sage's Mask. Definitely not the bad choice, because like I said, they need the silence. But if you can get rid of the silence, there's just almost no way for AlbumSheet to kill you. Still, they have a decent amount of stuns. But there's a Shadow Blade now done on the Slark. Usually Blink Dagger is the item of choice, but he has the drums as well. So I guess he's not that squishy, and the Shadow Blade might completely come as a surprise, and it definitely does synergize well with her ultimate. It's just a matter of now, how vigilant will AlbumSheet be about just getting the detection?
I should think detection should be their main focus throughout this game right now, just because Padrino can cause so many problems. He uses the Shadow Blade looking for the Morphling, but Morphling's already replicated away. He's up back, where is he? He's back up in his own jungle farming up. If he can maintain this kind of farm, it'll be perfect. And he's almost got his Manta, so where do we go from that? Manta into Butterfly, or do you go for the safer option and get a BKB? Once again, referring to all of that magical burst, and hell, pure burst as well from Vulcan Bears.
It really depends on how they plan to play the Morphling. If it's just more like a split pushing style, you might not need a BKB. BKB definitely, if you want to fight, I think is the safest option to go for. Not an item that Morphling ever wants to really go for if he can help it, but might be necessary this game, unfortunately for him.
Well, still, as it stands, I'm wondering where we're going to see the next fight, considering the Vulcan Bears, they're trying to pressure this bottom tier too, and well, with the kind of healing they've got backing them up, it'll be very hard to stop this kind of push, but with Padrino rotating in, this is a 4-person threat on a tower right now. There needs to be some form of response, and the supports, well, no, Weck and Axmo start to rotate down, but well, in come the TPs, they're going to try to get whatever they can, but in the meantime, well, Massacre and Padrino go very aggressive, and Massacre might pay for it with his life. No, he's going to suicide with that Bloodstone.
Well, they got the suicide. Oh, the double silence as well, Axmo. He's going to go down for sure. Afterlife comes in with the stun just a tad too late, and now he might go down himself as well. Another Mist Coil will come off cooldown just now. They get the kill, 4 heroes down, and Well, theoretically, they don't even lose a hero. Timbersaw did lose some Blast Zone charges, but he got the Suicide, yet he also managed to still bait out that Scream of Pain as well. And with the Scream of Pain on cooldown, you could see BBC there like, screw these guys, nothing to be afraid of, let's go.
Yeah, this is the thing. They get a set of kills like that, that tier 2 is going to melt. I mean, if they finish off this tier 2, they've just gained an objective off the back of a 4-person wipe, and they're going to get the Morphling as well in the... what the hell was the Morphling doing there in the enemy side jungle? That was quite the kill, and the map sense to grab that one. So kills across the board still. Towers falling in favour of BBC. BBC look to be in a very strong form, and especially if we look at the graphs, that's nearing a 7,500 net worth lead, and nearly the same in terms of experience. So looking all good right now as Padrino continues the aggression, looking for the Tusk. Snowball is there, of course, buying some time, and Weck, he's in a bad way. The Dark Pact is there. They'll finish him off with the pounce. And the Dark Pact actually removed the Orchid immediately. That was perfectly timed from that. And Axmo just not having an easy time, is he?
If only the Queen of Pain had the Scream of Pain there, I think he would have popped it, even having seen the Shadow Dance, just because the Slark was low enough at the time. But nice kill, making the escape there from as well. And Balkan Bears, before they got the fight at the tier 2, as well as the tier 2, the lead was like, what, 1500 in both gold and XP, suddenly skyrocketing, like you mentioned, near 7,500 for both. There's even a mech finished on Abaddon now, and with the Arcane Boots, he definitely has enough mana to actually properly sustain himself. You'll Scepter down on a Massacre now as well, so next time around, just the Orchid will not be such an easy kill on him, or not forcing out the Suicide as easily, and now he wants to go for a Hurricane, brings him down to half HP almost immediately. There's going to be a Silence to follow up as well. Oh god.
Wow, that was some immense level of damage out of Massacre. I don't think Yapsa even got a single point of damage on that target, or did he? Timbersaw, I think, did everything.
It was all Timbersaw.
Yeah, that's a huge level of pure damage. That was well played out of him. Then again, I hear a Stampede. It's to escape. Afterlife does not want the risk getting caught, and, well, you haven't used your Stampede to retreat.
Dazzle Solo forced out the Stampede.
Wow. That, I suppose he's fearful of rotations coming in with the rest of the team, so I can sort of understand not wanting to be caught. But if you're having to use your Stampede defensively like that, it sort of says where you stand in the game, doesn't it? As Padrino, he's on the hunt. He does find Axmo, but I don't think he can take the Queen of Pain on his own. He's going to try at least. He does manage to Dark Pact the slow, and King Arbor tries to rotate in. But while this is going on, well, Massacre continuing his job, massacring everything that moves, finishes off with Centaur Warrunner.
And suddenly, number 1 in net worth as well, with all the kills he's gotten. Up to 9 Blast Zone charges as well, so it feels like he didn't even commit suicide. If there wasn't a cooldown on Blast Zone, I wouldn't think he did. So that's Boots of Travels finished now. They are just getting everything at the moment, more or less. Slark, I guess I could still do with a little bit more farm, but he's doing well enough if you compare him to the Morphling, who was number 2. Him and Queen of Pain were leading the charge for quite a long time, but now Balkan Bears, they're getting the kills, they're getting the objectives, but the thing is, can they also break high ground?
The high ground's going to be another story, since there's going to be less trees and, well, less trees than anything for the Timbersaw to really work with. But if they can get a good fight, and if they can get Whirling Death on multiple heroes, certainly I reckon it's doable. I should think a Blink Dagger might be the order of business here for Massacre.
King R, Padrino finds him! One right click, pounce, Dark Pact to follow. Oh man, it sucks to be Alina. Just look at the items. 2 gauntlets of strength, boots, sentries.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Padrino realizes his team is playing Radiant this time, considering he's always been on the dire side of the map, but he's just looking for that maximum level of aggression that you can with a Slark, and it's going to be another easy kill for Massacre, as well as potentially more here. If we take a look at Padrino, he's just stalking the AlbumSheet lineup. He just wants to get any kill he can. He's living on the dire side of the map.
So Padrino, he's going for a Lincoln Sphere at the moment. It's purely to stop the Orchid, I think, because Orchid really is pretty much the only thing he has to be afraid of at this point. But the thing is, I really loved how Puck played it. He saw the Tusk activated the Snowball, and Puck was like, okay, unless he starts rolling at me immediately, I'm just going to blink the other way where my teammates are and make the Snowball go that way. Just, the Snowball pretty much made it so the Tusk found himself in the middle of 4 enemy heroes.
Yeah, just that kind of play coming out of the Balkan Bears, it's... They're playing well as a team, and I suppose if they can just keep that Tusk on the back foot, keep him so his snowball does absolutely nothing. It's just so good for them. And Pedrino just does not stop either. He's almost got King R. In fact, well, the miscoil will get King R. And they're just still going for more. Look at the damage coming out of Pedrino right now. And Illusionist is just stealing all of the kills. BKB comes out by Axmo, just trying to trade into this side. Hoop Stomp, Double Edge, trying to get Pedrino, but they just cannot bring him down. He is so escapable with that Aphotic Shield on him. An Illusionist won't go down either because of borrowed time. Pedrino trying to rotate back into the fight, but he can't get the pick-off he's looking for this time. Still, Massacre coming in, Double Edge dodged by Massacre. Sorry, not Double Edge, Hoof Stomp dodged by Massacre, and it just keeps going. The pressure is relentless coming out of the Balkan Bears.
The supports just haven't had a great game at all on AlbumSheet, and they're just fodder. I guess Tusk can survive a little bit longer, but this Lina, I'm so sad that most Linas that get picked up do absolutely nothing. Pedrino does get silenced now, but the Hoofstomp will follow, never mind. He got rid of the stun with the 40 shield, the Laguna Blade to follow. Shadowland still on cooldown, Pedrino not going too deep, he's not gonna get punished for it, because the Waning Rift did silence up the Queen of Pain at the same time. Massacre still hanging about, you'll set it up. Pedrino has to escape for now. They might not get the Rex, but they've gotten the kills. I think the damage will be done regardless.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very hard to stop. Then again, a two-man Hoofstomp's going to do a long way towards this, but still, just look how quickly that Centaur dies to Massacre's damage. A Timbersaw with this level of sustainability is so hard to kill. Hell, even Axum are trying to throw in whatever he can. It's a triple kill for Massacre. This is an absolute massacre, and GG is called. It's going to be 2-0 to the Balkan Bears, and hell, this level of aggression from the Balkan Bears, I shouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, but what a series.
All I have to say is just really impressive plays from Balkan Bears, even running with stand-ins. Of course, both teams didn't have stand-ins, but Balkan Bears, they felt unified. They really played as a team, just really great backup by the supports as well. The sustain was unreal coming into this. I don't know, man, I wouldn't want to face a Slark who's backed up by an Abaddon and a Dazzlement. How do you kill that? Same with the Timbersaw.
You pick AA instead of Lina.
That's true enough. I don't believe AA was banned either. It was Skyref and the Disruptor banned out in the second phase by Balkan Bear, so I think it's a pretty good substitution, or would have been, because this Lina definitely did do nothing in this game. So guys, with this is it for this series. We're gonna have one more coming up in about an hour time, 20 CT. It is going to be Moscow 5 International versus Hehe. So definitely a high chance of seeing more Tusk coming out from screen for Moscow 5. But I do hope you all enjoy the cast. If you did, you can follow HeflaTV for more in the future. It is HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter. Of course, you were watching the SLTV Proseries as well, so be sure to check that out. The site should be starladder.tv, I do believe. And for the casters, it's @Coucher for me and Black. Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere on Twitch and Twitter at Mr_Blackadder.
So there you have it, guys. Like we said, if you want to see more of HeflaTV, we're definitely going to be around, and we're going to just let you know on our social media when we do so. But for now, I'm going to keep the stream running for a little bit. A few songs, we're going to swap streamers as well. MRP, more Rage Plays, will take over the stream, maybe joined by GrindSV, not too sure. But in any case, back at 20 CT on the same channel with Moscow 5 International versus Hehe. Until then, guys, have a good one.
Peace out.